All Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Welcome to the bunker. It's the essence of no half step, and it's a unique hockey experience that you've never seen before. We're just a month into what we're doing here at the bunker, and we sure do appreciate each and every one of you. Renegades of Puck has been a very popular destination where everyone has been going to find out everything they need to know about what's going on here with the Renegades of Puck. Also, remember all of those great social media platforms. We are, of course, on Facebook. You can find us there. Give us a like. We are on Twitter. Give us a follow at Renegades of Puck. And we will soon be adding more social media platforms. But for now, we'd also like you to go ahead and follow us on Twitch. We are live streaming, and that is our behind-the-scenes channel on Twitch. Easy to find, Renegades of Puck. You can see when we make mistakes. You can see how we make adjustments here in the bunker, and you get a lot of bonus content on there as well. It's become a little bit of a therapeutic outlet for me here as the captain of the Renegades of Puck to go ahead and have a couple of the Renegades over for the live portion of the briefing. They not only get the information first, but they also get to hear what's going on in my mind and what's going on behind the scenes here at the bunker. And when we do make mistakes and drop tremendous amounts of F-bombs, it happens over there on Twitch. So we sure would appreciate if you would give us a follow. And remember, check out all of our incredible sponsors and partners here of Renegades of Puck. Rebirth Sports. RebirthSports.com is where you want to go. Not only do they make the incredible hockey jersey for the Renegades of Puck and for so many other great teams out there, but they can outfit your entire operation. More than just jerseys, they're hockey tailors. You can find them on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search for Rebirth Sports. Great partners. Look forward to sending them my next update and also sending them all the great promotional stuff we've been doing. Give them some love. Give them some stick taps. That's Rebirth Sports. Also, Stripe Digital Solutions. Maintaining the website also. Designing our logo and helping me with a big marketing promotional project that we have upcoming. It is incredible to work with Stripe Digital Solutions, and I am so excited and so happy every day that I get to work with such great partners, including designing this alternate logo for the Renegades of Puck that I'm wearing in the bunker today. Just got this brand new merch in and very proud to be wearing it in the bunker today. Also, Strong Style Fit, 150 workouts now on YouTube by a certified personal trainer, completely donation-based. We would appreciate if you could give some stick taps, love, and respect on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to Strong Style Fit. She jumps in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck, and she's trying to help keep you motivated and ready to fight. So jump in the trenches with Strong Style Fitness. That's our great partners, but we have one more incredible partner that I absolutely have to talk about, and that is every one of you. Thank you so much for all of you who have contributed and donated on Venmo. Just search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. Every little dollar helps. As you can see, we've received some great donations, and as a matter of fact, we will be building a second microphone position here very soon, thanks to your incredible generosity. What we were unable to do in our earlier versions on the radio, we are now able to do here as an independent hockey coverage operation. So thank you so much. Those of you who bought me a cup of coffee for staying up late in the bunker and freezing out here, I sure do appreciate you. $1, $5, $20, whatever it is you can donate to the Renegades of Puck, please do so. It helps us out tremendously, and everything I get as far as donations go, I am going to reinvest here in the bunker to get better cords, better microphones, better lighting, better everything, and also better coverage, more correspondence, and maybe even be able to get together with different events. I would love to do a Renegades of Puck all skate, but that's going to cost us money, and we're going to have to do that on our own. I'll gladly rent out a hockey rink and get every one of the Renegades of Puck and all their families, get them all on some ice skates, get them out there and have a good time and some good laughs, and we'll do that. We'll do these things as we are able to do them as the budget allows. Now listen, it's time for No Half Step, and you come here for hockey coverage, you come here for the goods, and I deliver the goods. Those out there who are still not talking about the topic of the Nashville Predators, they'll use the excuse. There's a red-hot Titans team in town. College football's in full swing. Ooh, college basketball just started a couple of nights ago. They will literally do anything they can to avoid talking to you about the topic that you want to hear about. After all this time, the Nashville Predators are well entrenched and cemented as a franchise in this city. They are extremely popular. They have a great fan base, and they had a sellout streak that would still be going on today if not for the entirety of the COVID situation. Now, the Nashville Predators do not get the media coverage, but they do here support us. All the social media platforms, comment, subscribe, like, do all of these things. Help us out. When I say built by Renegades for Renegades, I mean it. You guys wanted this, and that's why it exists. You spoke it and willed it into existence. That's why I'm no longer sitting in a radio studio in a chair at 5 o'clock in the morning doing this show. That's why we now have our own operations center. That's why we now have our own HQ. No half-stepping means let's get to the hockey coverage. The Nashville Predators currently sit in 4th place in the Central Division, and they are exceeding expectations on every level across the board at this point in the season. After 14 games played and the longest road trip of the season, the CMA road trip, a 6-game grinder that usually sees this team develop some cohesion and chemistry, that is exactly what we saw on the road trip. So the Preds now, after 14 games played, have a record of 8-5-1. They have 17 points in the Central Division, and that has them just 1 point behind the St. Louis Blues and the Minnesota Wild for the Central Division lead. The Winnipeg Jets also have 17 points on the season. Behind that, the Nashville Predators are 6 points clear of Colorado. Dallas is at 10 points. Chicago is at 10 points. And tonight's opponent for the Nashville Predators, the Arizona Coyotes, is a league worst with 3 points on the season. Now, the Nashville Predators have barely been at home for the last few weeks. So, 3-3 on the season at Bridgestone Arena. But on the road, the Nashville Predators now have a record of 5-2-1. And listen, the way the first 10 days or so of the season went, you did not think we'd be talking about the Nashville Predators having a even record at home and a winning record on the road, but that's where we stand. They're also +2 in the goal differential now, being another team in the Central to reach the 40-goal plateau, the 4th team to do so. For the Nashville Predators tonight, their opponent is the 8th-ranked Central Division team, the Arizona Coyotes. They have also skated in 14 games. They hold a record of 1-12-1. They have 3 points on the season on the road. They are 0-8-1. They have only scored 22 goals on the entire season. I fear, Nashville Predators fan, that this is a trap game, much like on the road trip, the Chicago Blackhawks game was, in fact, a trap game. Did the Nashville Predators learn the lessons that they needed to learn from that Blackhawks game? That you cannot, in fact, just roll out of bed, show up at the rink, put your skates on, and expect to pick up 2 points? The Preds failed to do that in Chicago. Thankfully, the rest of the road trip, they put up such an incredible effort that they were able to make up for that. But tonight, with such a bad team coming into town and the Nashville Predators only having one night at Bridgestone Arena before heading back out on the road Tuesday in Toronto, Thursday in Ottawa, next Saturday at Montreal, the Nashville Predators, I fear, are going to have a little bit of a letdown tonight. Now, I sure hope the team proves me wrong and comes out and absolutely stomps on a terrible hockey team. Now, let me tell you exactly how bad this Arizona Coyotes hockey team is. Going just through the rankings of the NHL. Goals for at 1.57, 32nd in the NHL. Goals against, 3.93, 32nd in the NHL. Shots for, 25.2, 32nd in the NHL. Shots against, 31.6. Ooh, big metric here, 18th in the NHL. The power play is converting at 11.8%, which is 29th worst in the league, and their penalty kill is 30th worst in the league. They've given up 16 power play goals against and are only killing off 65% of the penalties against. Now, this Nashville Predators team, when it comes to the NHL rankings, nothing about them just absolutely jumps off the page, except for maybe the power play, especially after the Nashville Predators power play of the last couple of years. Now, goals for at 2.79. The Preds are 1.2 goals ahead of the Coyotes, even with the 20th rated goals for in the league. So for the Nashville Predators, they absolutely have to come out, put some goals up, and beat this team. Goals against, the Preds are 13th best in the NHL at 2.71. Shots for, though, 30th. Not getting enough pucks on the net, not getting enough quality pucks on the net is also a secondary part of that. On the power play, the Preds do have the 5th-ranked power play on this season in the NHL. They've converted 10 times in 38 opportunities for 26.3%. The Preds' penalty kill is ranked 22nd overall. First of 3 meetings between these two teams this year. They won't play again until January the 8th when the Nashville Predators go out to Arizona for the first time, and the Preds will make a return out to Arizona on April the 29th. It'll be the last game of the regular season for the Nashville Predators. the most recent stretch of hockey for the Coyotes, including a loss last night in Chicago, 2-1 last night. Wedgwood got the start, took the loss 27 out of 29. Their only win of the season actually took place in the most recent 5. That happened on November the 6th. It was a 5-4 win versus the Seattle Kraken. Couldn't happen to a nicer team. Stats, notes, all those things when it comes to Arizona. Ghost Bear 2 + 9 = 11 points. He is leading the Arizona Coyotes in scoring. Krause at 4 + 3 = 7. Keller at 3 + 3 for 6. And then Phil Kessel still getting it done. 2 goals on the season, 3 assists, 5 points at this point. They have a number of goaltenders that they can roll out. Carter Hutton's even on this roster, but none of them have numbers that would impress even a beer league captain. When you take a look at the Nashville Predators, a couple of statistics and notes. Rocco Grimaldi has cleared waivers now and is going to Milwaukee. I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail before the end of the show. Forsberg still, of course, on injured reserve, and McCarron is who got the call-up that took Grimaldi's spot on the roster, and we've now seen him in a couple of games. Grenlin leading the Nashville Predators in scoring at this point in the season, 2 goals and 13 assists. He's got a 15-point season through 14 games, and it seems like he's doing it so quietly. It's just because he doesn't go out there with a lot of flash. He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't chirp. He just gets the job done, and I can't wait to recap this game against St. Louis because Mikhail Grenlin was just incredible. Matt Duchene having a resurgent season and playing the best hockey of his Nashville Predators tenure. 8 goals now, 6 assists, 14 points. Roman Josi now 4 goals and 8 assists. Actually kind of in a little bit of a slump. Josi falling behind the pace of the other two now. Johansson at 9 points, 5 of those are goals. And that is actually very impressive for Ryan Johansson. Not the number of goals, but his shooting percentage is over 30% right now. He's got a great shot. Utilize it more, the puck will go in the net more. UC Saros will get the start tonight, 6-4-1 on the season, a .925 save percentage, a 2.28 goals against average. And I wanted to make this notation. With Big Save Dave getting the victory over the St. Louis Blues, that means the Preds have 3 goalies now this season that have picked up a victory in the first 14 games of the season. Of course, UC Saros, Connor Ingram, and now Big Save Dave Riddick. Now, let's go back and talk about what happened in the game against the St. Louis Blues. I am calling it right now the Nashville Predators' signature win of the season to this point. Typically, when it comes to the list of signature wins in a season, you'll see 3 or 4 on that list. There's usually about 1 per quarter when things are going well. This is a signature win that I am about to describe to you. I was so impressed with what the Nashville Predators were able to do. Now, I call it a signature win for a whole bunch of different reasons, but consider as we lead into the play-by-play and game recap of this. The Nashville Predators are at the end of a 2+ week road trip. It is game 6 of that road trip. They are in St. Louis taking on a first-place team that has just been absolutely offensive dynamite this season so far. They played the previous night in Dallas, had a very physical game, played with 5 defensemen for the majority of that game, and right now do not have Philip Forsberg in the lineup even as an option. That's why. And they also had a brand new backup goaltender making his first start of the season and his first start as a Nashville Predator. There was a whole lot stacked against the Nashville Predators coming into this game. Now, they find themselves behind the 8 ball even more. Let's find out exactly what I'm talking about, and let's find out why this win is so impressive for the Nashville Predators. Let me give you the details and the info as only I can do. You give me 10 minutes, I'll give you the entire game. You give the Renegades of Puck an additional 10 minutes. We'll give you everything you need to know about the game, including analysis and opinions. That's right. Jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Let's get through this no half step and recap. 31 seconds into the game, Cunning's got a shot that's stopped by Jordan Binnington at 2:31. McCarron and Joshua, 5 minutes each. The ref on the hot mic. Both guys got 5 minutes. The ref was incredible on that call. The fight, McCarron with the uppercut, just absolutely stunned Joshua. Don't think that he'll be asking for a rematch in this one. 2:39, Binnington stops Olivier's partial breakaway. 5:03, Bozak can't convert on the back post with the wide open net. This would have been an easy goal for the St. Louis Blues. Riddick comes up with a save and a rebound opportunity at 5:21. 5:39, Riddick save on a deflection from the low circle. One hop to the 5 hole, but he shuts it down. At 8:28, here's Riddick again. He gets bumped by Buchnevich and Burrow, Myers, Trennan, Sissons, and Olivier all respond team toughness, something the Nashville Predators have been lacking for a couple of seasons. Buchnevich barely bumped into Rittich. As a matter of fact, Rittich probably initiated the contact and then sold it, but all 5 guys that were on the ice responded immediately. Tensions could have gotten out of control in this situation, but cooler heads prevailed, and we carry on. 9-11 of the first period, Novak's got a good chance and some jams stopped by Binnington, but unfortunately for the Preds at 12:23, Kyrou's got his 4th goal of the season. It was a wide-open bar down from the low circle off of a feed from Bozak. Jeannot lost Kyrou in the shuffle in the D zone. You don't typically see Tanner Jeannot finding himself losing his responsibilities, but he did in this particular circumstance, and St. Louis now has a 1-0 lead. At 15:05, Grenlin hits a crashing Myers in the slot. Binnington stands tall. The St. Louis Blues are able to keep the Preds off the board. At 15:21, Yossi's off the box. 2 minutes for delay of game. Puck over the glass, and there's Kyrou again. His 5th goal of the season, 2nd goal of the game. He's leading the St. Louis Blues in scoring and just looking absolutely dynamic out there with a wrist shot from the circle. It is a 2-0 game after the first period in favor of the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis is out shooting Nashville 12-9. 17 seconds into the second period, red-hot Matt Duchene responds with the Nashville Predators. His 7th goal of the season, Grenlin to Cunnin on the zone entry. Duchene from the slot gets the finish. Nashville Predators are on the board. We've got a 2-1 hockey game. Got to mention, Borowiecki at this point took a really strong shift and had some strong play, not only on the defensive side of things, breaking up a couple of plays, but all along the wall. He was just crushing bodies. Great physical play. We see Rittich at this point at 5:55. He turns the puck over and is forced to make multiple saves in the aftermath that he created. I thought that Chris Mason made a great and tremendous point on the broadcast. With this being Rittich's first game, it is very possible that he fell for some deception coming from the St. Louis Blues, where perhaps one of the Blues players said, leave the puck, move the puck, or whatever. And Rittich, just not being on the team long enough to be familiar with those voices, perhaps that is what led to the turnover. I thought that was a great and astute point coming from the analyst of the Nashville Predators on television and High Council of Renegades member Chris Mason. So great job right there. We would see Luke Cunnin, 7:43, just about 2 minutes after that, tie this game up. His 2nd goal of the season ties the game up at 2 apiece. Matt Duchene with just a sick backhand pass to Cunnin, cutting to the front of the net for the 5-hole finish. Now, Matt Duchene just absolutely worked this one. You need to see the super slow-mo and see as many angles of it as you can. Highly impressive dishing here by Matt Duchene. He's firing on all cylinders. At 10:29, Rittich save on Joshua in close, then on Neal's backhand follow-up. 11:59, Ekholm hits the iron from out at distance. 19:49, Binnington has to come out with a save on Grenlin after some strong forecheck by the Herd line. We've got a tie game after 2 periods now. St. Louis is out shooting Nashville 24-17. But the Preds have fought their way back into this game with only 8 shots on goal in the second period, converted on 2 of them, led by, of course, Duchene and Grenlin, as this team was led the entire night. 21 seconds into the third period, Rittich comes up with a save on Barbashev plus O'Reilly's jam attempt at 2:43. McCarron blocks a heavy shot, stays down, leaves the game with help. Second night in a row we've seen this from a Nashville Predator, sacrificing the body and taking a shot that ended up having them leave the game. I sure hope that he's all right. Don't know what his time frame is. I'm sure it's listed as day-to-day, much like Alex Carrier was after blocking the shot the previous night. Rittich comes up with a save on Buchnevich off the rush at 3:17, but at 4:01, Trennan's first goal of the season gives the Preds a 3-2 lead on the road in St. Louis. Grenlin steals the pass in the neutral zone, wheels, makes a short pass to Olivier, who flips it over to Trennan, who puts it in the back of the net with a wrist shot. Nashville Predators getting the job done. Mikhail Grenlin, again, just steals the puck clean in the neutral zone and organizes everything. The Nashville Predators find themselves with a 1-goal lead in St. Louis in the final period of the CMA road trip. At 4:09, O'Reilly tip hits the post. Rittich seals off the rebound, put back. It is a great save. 7:31, Rittich holds the line on St. Louis's jam attempt. The D clears after several tense seconds, but unfortunately for the Preds at 8:13, Tarasenko, who has always done very well against this Nashville Predators team, gets his 5th goal of the season, holds off 2 defenders, plus a 3rd defender goes down to block the shot. It's not a problem. There is no way that Rittich can do anything on this one. He's also a little bit loose on the post, so he beats for Nashville Predators to put the puck in the net and tie this game up 3 apiece. 17:03, Binnington does have to come up with a save on Johansson from the slot after Jeannot's great setup. 19:49, Cunnin gets 3 opportunities to jam the puck into the net on the goal line. Grenlin comes crashing in late to try to get one last opportunity. Binnington finds a way to survive and somehow keeps his cool. Typically, this goaltender, in these scenarios, he loses total control when you jam for this long and this hard. And Grenlin coming in crashing late. Impressive effort by the Preds to try to win this thing in the last seconds of the game. But we head to regulation. We head to the end of regulation, tied at 3 apiece, with St. Louis out shooting Nashville 34-26. No time markers because things started happening quick as soon as the puck was dropped in overtime. We see Riddick with a save on Tarasenko almost instantly. He follows that up a few seconds later with another save on Buchnevich before Matt Duchene scores his 8th goal of the season. It was Mikhail Grenlin who just absolutely worked the St. Louis Blues. He takes the puck out of the offensive zone because the unit is tired. He goes out to the neutral zone. He allows his 2 teammates to change. And as he starts to skate towards the bench, it looks like he's going to just dump the puck off to one of his teammates and go for a change. He obviously had this plan in mind. Instead of doing any of that, he goes ahead and knifes into the zone with speed, catching St. Louis off guard, makes a quick pass over to Duchene, who is wide open for the conversion. The Nashville Predators, this is incredibly impressive right here. 4-3 victory over the first-place St. Louis Blues in overtime. Mikhail Grenlin's 4th assist of the game, Matt Duchene's 2nd goal of the game, and for Big Save Dave, just absolutely incredible. 33 out of 36 in his first game as a Nashville Predator. This is the signature win of the first quarter of the season. Now, don't follow that up by getting caught in a trap tonight against the Arizona Coyotes. Now listen, let's talk about Big Save Dave. Let's talk about 3 goaltenders that have a win for the Nashville Predators. Let's talk about a bunch of other things before we get to a little bit more commentary on tonight's potential trap game and talk about a couple other things before we head out. You know who I need to hear from? I need to hear from Nostradamus. Big Save Dave, 33 out of 36. Highly impressive in the first period. He was under a lot of pressure. Tough situation coming in, making your debut against a high-powered offense in St. Louis. I thought Big Save Dave was incredible. Can't wait to hear what Nostradamus has to say about it. He's the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck, and you can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35, or you can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Nostradamus, tell me all about it.
Thank you, Charlie. What a performance by the Nashville Predators, finishing off the long 6-game road trip with back-to-backs against division rivals and getting W's in both. What a win against St. Louis. 4-1-1 now on that 6-game road trip. 9 out of a possible 12 points. You can't ask for much more than that, especially with the way things were going early on in this one against St. Louis. Down 2-0. Would have been very easy for the team as a whole to just say, you know what, mail it in. We finished 3-2-1 on the road trip. That's not half bad. Good team against St. Louis. 2nd of back-to-back. Backup goaltender who hasn't seen action all season long. You know what, we'll take our points and go home. And they came storming back to get the victory. Even a lot of adversity with the goal, of course, by Tarasenko in the 3rd period to tie the game back up. So you think St. Louis has got everything back under control. But the Nashville Predators, just high praise for them. I can't say enough about that kind of a performance. Did not expect them to come back with that many points on this road trip. So good for them on that. David Riddick, first action of the season. This season's in a month now, and this is his first game time action. Stops 33 out of 36. Great job by him. He started a little bit slow. Gave up 2 goals to Jordan Kyrou, and look, those are good shots. You know, you could easily get those by another goaltender. The 3rd one by Tarasenko, I think you probably want back near side on that shot. I think he would have been better to hug that post a little bit more. It seemed like he gave up a little bit too much room, and Tarasenko was able to snipe that one by him. But overall, he's called Big Save Dave in his time in Calgary, and he had some absolutely enormous saves in the 3rd period, particularly the opportunity for Ryan O'Reilly off the post. Rebound was there. It looked like he had an entire net to shoot at. But David Riddick got that big left pad out there, made the big save, and again, was able to overcome, again, not having any action all season long. Great job by him. I can't say enough about his performance as well. Again, he has Connor Ingram kind of breathing down his neck right now as a backup goaltender with what we saw out of Connor Ingram early this season. And David Riddick comes through big, gets a victory in St. Louis. Not an easy task whatsoever. So, Preds, come back home to face a very bad Arizona team, to put it mildly. Not a good team. Could be a scenario for the trap game for the Preds. They have a 3-game road trip right back out in Eastern Canada this time, right after that Saturday game. So could be a trap, could be that one quick game. The first home game after a long road trip is very difficult for any team. You ask around the league, not something that the boys envy, but this is what they have. A bad team at home on a Saturday night in Nashville. Take care of your business at home, guys. Then you go back on the road for 3 games in Eastern Canada to take on those teams. So, Charlie, you got to give them a high praise. We weren't big on this team early on. After starting out the season 1-4, they've come back in a big, big way. Back to you.
You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. He is, of course, the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck. He is Mostradamus. I sure do appreciate him jumping in the trenches. Couple of other thoughts before we head on out the door today. Matt Duchene, simply an incredible road trip. 2 more goals in this game and just on fire. Easily playing the hockey right now that every Nashville Predators fan thought they were going to be getting when he originally came here to play as a Nashville Predator. If he can continue this up for the rest of the season, he is going to pile up some goals. It is impressive what he has done through the first 14 games of the season. Hopefully tonight at Bridgestone Arena, he's able to continue that momentum. Also, I have to mention Mikhail Grenlin. Now, not only leading the team in scoring, but he has found the coach that just knows how to utilize him in every way, shape, or form. Grenlin actually did not lead the team in time on ice in this game, 29 in total. Duchene had a little bit more, but Grenlin with 4 assists. And ever since John Hynes has taken over this team, Mikhail Grenlin was a bust. When the Nashville Predators traded Kevin Fiala for Mikhail Grenlin, everybody thought they were going to get a consistent offensive threat for this Nashville Predators team. It didn't turn out that way. Under Peter Laviolette, he was invisible. As a matter of fact, most Nashville Predators fans, and I believe some of our analysis here on the show, said that Mikhail Grenlin should just go ahead and be traded. As a matter of fact, we advocated trading him multiple times. Now, the Nashville Predators have signed him long-term because with John Hynes, things have just absolutely turned around. Mikhail Grenlin is becoming a consistent night in and night out star, not only for the Nashville Predators, but in the NHL. Again, you've heard me talk about this before. When John Hynes and the Nashville Predators put him at center at the end of last year and started bumping his ice time up to 25, 26 minutes a night, I thought it was a gimmick to increase his trade value. Say, look, Mikhail Grenlin's now a center. He wins faceoffs. He plays lots of minutes. That's not the case. The case is the guy is earning his minutes, he's earning his time, and he's doing a hell of a job with every single bit of it. Something else I really wanted to mention before we headed on out tonight, team toughness. This Nashville Predators team is very different than the team of the last couple of seasons. Yes, the herd line emerged last year and were a physical presence, and Tanner Jeannot is always going to be difficult to play against just with his size and his nature. But listen, it's not just Tanner Jeannot. McCarron, Olivier, Sissons, Trennan, Benning, Borowiecki, Ekholm, all of these guys, Myers even the other night, willing to step in and support the Nashville Predators and play a physical game. You saw in Dallas, the Nashville Predators were able to physically impose their will on the Dallas Stars. That is not something teams that have faced the Predators in recent years have come to expect. They've come to expect transition game, high speed, a lot of offensive skill, defensemen jumping into the play. Now, they're starting to have to deal with a little bit more sandpaper, grit, and grind out there, and teams are not adjusting very well to the Nashville Predators. Listen, this team wasn't expected to accomplish very much, and through 14 games, they find themselves 1 point out of first place. They're 8-5-1 overall, and this is after a 1-4 start. Take those first 5 games aside, they're playing incredible hockey. They're also going into some very difficult rinks across the landscape of all of hockey. Going into Calgary, going into Edmonton, going into Minnesota. These are tough buildings. Dallas, St. Louis, those are tough buildings to go and play in. And also hosting a couple of tough opponents here in Nashville so far. So hopefully they don't get caught in a trap game. And I got to say, that's what I keep talking about. After a signature win, after the closeout of the 6-game road trip, after a successful road trip, after getting 3/4 of the points on that road trip, I fear tonight's 1-game homestand for the Nashville Predators is absolutely a trap, and I sure hope that the coaching staff and every one of the leaders on this team is able to get the players up and motivated and ready for it, and I hope that the crowd is ready to be there tonight and lift up this Predators team because, listen, I know it's mid-November, and a lot of people aren't going to be thrilled about going out to see a 1-win Arizona Coyotes team that has no stars on it. I understand. Go cheer on your Nashville Predators tonight. This is a good team that's starting to come together, and some of the prospects, some of the moves, some of the pieces, I think you're going to start to be highly impressed as you continue watching him. And Matt Duchene right now, he's on a hot streak. You get your chance now. Go and check him out. Before we head out the door, I want to promote something, and I want to mention a couple of great friends of mine, and I went ahead and wrote down a couple of notes, and I'm going to go ahead and put some info up on the screen for you as well. Next Friday and next Saturday, Renegades of Puck on the Plateau and East. I need your support. I need your help. Even you Renegades that are just online, go ahead and give these guys a little stick taps, a little love and respect. As all of you know, I had a great and lengthy career before jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck as a professional wrestler, and some of my old friends are involved in some incredible wrestling events coming up this next weekend in the Chattanooga area. Let me tell you, on the 19th of November, 8 p.m., Red Bank, Tennessee, it's the Pit 6. My old partner, Tank, the Strong Style Psycho, is going to be taking on Neil Diamond Cutter. This is going to be incredible. I have been told that matches in the pit are just simply insane. So, want you guys to go ahead and support that. If you're out there, go ahead and look at the flyer on the screen right now. If you need some more information, how to follow along, how to get tickets, all of that is right there. Go ahead and check that out. And then on next Saturday, the 20th, ICW at 8 p.m. at the Inversion Circus Art Center in Chattanooga. They're putting on an incredible show. This is the same group that Darren McCarty, and all of you already know who that is, so I don't need to describe, that Darren McCarty worked a death match for not that long ago. My old partner, Tank from Project Mayhem, is going to be taking on John Wayne Murdoch, the American Death Match champ right now. This is a huge wrestling event in Chattanooga. The info's on the screen right there. The flyer's on the screen. And this is a really important topic to me, supporting the Renegades out there. These guys are Renegades. My old pro wrestling family, my old pro wrestling friends, my old partner, my old roommate, Dan the Dragon Wilson, is managing Tank in both of these shows. These are taking place down in the Chattanooga area, so I sure would appreciate you guys giving them a little bit of love, even if it's just across the internet. They're going out there and putting their bodies on the line. Frankly, they're putting their lives on the line, and the Strong Style Psycho, he is just an incredible thing to see. My old partner, Tank, man. Stick taps, love, and respect to you, my friend. I look forward to seeing you again down the road, and, for those of you wondering, I might not be in the bunker next weekend. I might be somewhere else. For those of you who might be wondering. Yeah. I'll see you soon, my friends.